All right, hello. My name is Edwin, and I am going to work on my portfolio website, kind of redesign it. This is my website. Um, Basically, it's a WordPress blog. Now, a more modern solution is to use lovable.dev, and Lovable is amazing. It allows you to have a back-end developer create websites with just a couple prompts. However, making it look good is kind of a challenge. I put in a simple prompt about setting up my own website, and this is the result that I got. Not, I don't know. I mean, I swapped this image. Yes, it has a little bit of animation, but yikes. It did not hit a home run right off the bat. So I tried again. This is the kind of scenario that we're getting a lot of. It kind of just looks like a Lovable website. If I saw this website, I would say this was created with Lovable. It's kind of clean, it's modern, bright, but it's not. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice website, but it's not. I don't know. It just doesn't really do it for me. So most of the times when I build websites, I use something called Relume, which is a React, and I think it started out as a Webflow kind of component library with lots and lots of amazing kind of just components for building websites really quickly. Then it evolved. It has a Figma plugin, and it's also a React library. So it's just grown and grown and grown, and I've been using it for a while now. I just, you know, it was like my first AI tool that I love, because basically what it does is it takes all these amazing components. Each one of them are just really saves you a lot of time as a web designer, and then with a single prompt, it'll just pick and choose. Now, it tends to pick and choose the same ones, so you kind of have to um, switch it around, and I'll show you how that works. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna get rid of this Lovable project. Did not work. This one is not that great. So the idea is I'm gonna build the AI and design it inside of Relume first, and then see if I could somehow pull that into Lovable. If not, I'll just recreate it in WordPress or Webflow. All right, let's get started. So yeah, this is a simple prompt. Again, my website, edwinrogers.com, which is my full name. So the prompt is Edwin Rogers is Edwin Rogers creates stunning websites using Lovable and Relume. Like not even half a sentence. I'm gonna do a 1 to 5 page website. I pretty much only use the home page anyway, and then I'm just gonna generate what it's gonna do. I remember back in the days, sitemaps were a thing. You had to create. This was the first step in building a website. You wanted to say, hey, here we're gonna have a hero section. We're gonna have a featured section, and I'm hitting the scroll mouse button, and Control to zoom in and out. Also, you have that here, but anyway, so here's the hero section, the features section, the benefits. It creates it. This is a 1 to 5 page website, so we're going simple. I'm using the space bar to move over. And then it's the about, a portfolio, and a blog. Pretty simple. And then also the blog has blog posts, which you need. And the portfolio has projects, which you need. So yeah, sitemap. Woohoo! No, look at that. Create wireframes. It automatically takes that sitemap and creates wireframes out of it. So it's using the AI is building all of this out from that one sentence prompt, and not just that, it's writing the copy. Okay, tell me how much of a time saver this alone is to be able to have really clean copy. First thing I do is usually delete that. Not a fan of X. Sorry. Um, Boom. It's created. Creates the nav bar, which here it always uses kind of the same one. And if you want to change it, this is nav bar one. You can go to the components and you have a ton of components for everything. If you want a super menu, which I don't, if you want the navigation to be in the middle, which I do, there you go. Navbar 3, it has, it's responsive out of the gate. It just saves you so much time. I usually don't like the words homepage. I change this. So here you can change it to be like, I don't know, Edwin. If I can spell my own name. No, Jesus. And I just don't like the word home. And then it has a drop down. I can change this later and we can change the logo. So great. Now I have a site map. I can show the client like this is what your heroes section is going to be. I don't like this hero, so I'm going to go with a different one. Let's say I go with, just that kind of like big video background hero. If I want it to be video instead of an image, I can make it a video like this. If I want the call to action to be, instead of buttons, a form, there you have it. I just press form. And if I want to regenerate the copy, which is kind of, it's not doing a great job of regenerating, but I'll just change the text myself. Zoom in a little bit. And for now, just say like Edwin will create a stunning, lovable, for your brand. There you go, it's pretty simple. I think it's a little long. Just gonna go with. And then make it a question. There. Boom. Now, great. This is weird at Edwin Rogers. It would be edwinrogers.com. So I should have been more clear with the prompt. I'll just have to deal with it. I would just have to change a lot of things. But that's fine. It's just a good first pass. So great. So we have this wireframe. We have these 5 pages. You can look into the contact page right now. Is this the contact? You can tell this is just a blog post, sample content, call to actions. Here's a blog list with certain like the future of responsive design, already thought out content creation. So I love that. I don't see a contact page, so I would, if you wanted to add one, all you have to do is just go boom. I want to create a new page. I want this to be a contact page. And now generate copy, and boom, it creates a contact section, contact form, all of these things. And when you look at the wireframe, you can see our contact page is added with a form, and obviously you can change this. Now this is nice, grayscale, but no, it gets better. I'm just moving one tab at a time. It just goes from sitemap to a design. Now, because I put a video background, one of the things I noticed is that it didn't just generate an image in the back of the hero because of that, but let's say you want an image here. Just trying to change the color. I think it gets glitchy when you make it a video background. So I'm gonna go back. I'm going to make it an image background because right now it doesn't matter. I would have a placeholder image in here anyway. So if I go to the wireframe, it's not going to replace the image, but it'll give me this image edit uploader, which is great. Then I could take some files from my computer, and this is an image of a website that I created for a local brand. Probably doesn't work because it's text over text, but you get the picture where you can upload any image, even from kind of like stock photography or your actual photography, and you can swap all these images out. In this case, there's 1, 2, 3 images, and then you'll get 1, 2, 3, so you can swap out each of these images individually. So that's probably a good place to start. I picked a kind of bad image. This is a client image, so let's just use that real quick. And there you have it. So yeah, I mean, you can play around, you can redesign, do a lot of different things. So now it creates a color palette, which I kind of don't really like. Let me swap this image for something that's more, makes more sense. Probably not the best image of me yet. One thing I don't like is you have to crop the image in this, like it's cropping the image all wrong. It's just zooming in too high. Yeah, this image is not good. So I have to pick an image that's more like a background image. That's more like it's not vertical, but something that's kind of more 16:9 aspect ratio. I'm gonna choose this kind of like beautiful Amsterdam scene image instead. And that'll show you more of like I'd have to take my photo and make it more 16:9. Okay, so this works. Right now it's not the correct image for this website, but you get a sense of how you can replace the images. Now here's how this works. So let me see if I have. So the first thing when you notice right here is the logo, right? And there's the logo. So how do you swap this logo out? It's the same as swapping the images. You go to this L shape. You kind of have to, it kind of constrains you to an aspect ratio. I just did this for a client. So you have a bright image. Oopsie daisy, I picked the wrong one. Let me delete that. Upload. So you have a dark image. Obviously this is not anything. That was that lovely woman that I put in the first image. She's an artist. I'm working on a website for her right now. So this is your dark mode image, and this is important. Why? Because these are the images that is selected. I'm sorry, the colors that is selected, but you could shuffle them out. So there's a couple of ways to do this. Ooh, this is annoying. I have to close this. This is a cool extension, but I'm gonna have to close this right now. Oh, I get rid of this extension. Let's just do that. See if it closes. Oh. Can I just turn it off? There we go. Turn it off. Alright, cool. So now it's gone. Okay, so this little shuffle button right here is how you can shuffle the redesign. Now, before, so you see it just changed color options, but it didn't really change much. No matter how much you shuffle, it shuffles also the text. And you see like it kind of changed it a lot, but it changed it a little bit, but it doesn't really change it much. So I'm going to undo both of those changes because I kind of like the font choice the first time. So this Bree Serif, it's okay. And I'll show you how I usually use this. So first, what I do is I shuffle the colors into something I like. So let's say I do like this blue, I lock it. Maybe I like Buttercup and Cinnabar, whatever. These are the colors. This is the color scheme that I do like. Then you have the options of what level of opacity you want your colors to be. More a little pastel, or do you want it to be more like strong and dark? Let's say I like this blue. So now it's giving me, because this is a darker color, it's giving me the lighter logo. That's why you need two. So you can shuffle different things if you lock it. So if I lock the colors, I can't shuffle the colors. But if I decide, no, I just want to change the colors around, on my website, it's kind of like this kind of brownish, but my real logo is more this yellow, so I like this yellow here. I don't know about this whole color palette. Oh, I do like this gold. So if you want it to be the main color, this gold right here, oops, you can copy the hex code, boom, and then change it out. So now the main color is going to be this brown, which is it's not the same color as my color. Obviously, I could choose the exact same color, and then unlock this and kind of lock this. And then if you shuffle, those two colors won't change, but this one will. Don't like reds, don't like purple. Oh boy, it's only giving me red or purple. All right, I'll lock this last one. There you go. Now, when you select, it's from these color choices. So let's say I liked this dark brown is my main color. Great. So now I have this hero image, my text on and a form that works. Again, I can swap out these images. So let me do that real quick. Just gonna swap them out with random crap. So now Pokemon is your first, which I kind of like this bunny Pokemon. I don't know where I found this. I think it was Mid-Journey or something. And so I kind of like that. Just this random, actually, let's go with the animal theme here. We got this random, what is it? Muskrat, no, ferret, no, that's Mercat from, and then here's a kind of platypus or something. There you go. So now we have these animal themes. These are not the images I would use at all. But I don't like, let's say I don't like this being white. Boom, you just tap it, now it's gray, and it'll select through these colors. You see? So you tap it again, it'll be this light gray. And so if you add, I want it to be this yellow, which kind of matches this little guy. Boom, there you have it. Now I'll keep this white. And I'll make this one our final color. Maybe I shouldn't have this many colors, but you see how it turns it from dark mode if it's a dark color, but if it's something more pastel, you uh, undo what you've done, then you can change it. I think this should be a lot stronger. And you have a simple website mock-up. Lastly, I'll go with, oops, I'm trying to go with blacks for footers. I don't like this footer at all. So if I don't like this footer, this is way too elaborate. Definitely don't have this much content on a 5-page website. So why is it, it's just, nothing's perfect. But you could just change the footer to something a little more simple, like this one. Boom. This one or this one. This one, this one. Go with 7. And then when you go back, kept the colors, but it added the logo here. Oh, one thing I do like to do with the logo is make it as big as possible, so you can kind of read it. Sometimes it's a little not legible, and there you have it. This is the first mock-up design. All the images are wrong, but the text is there. You have some colors, and this is a first concept, right? So when you go to pitch this concept to your client, you can send them a preview of this design from a link, just like that. But that's just the first concept. So in order to, what I usually do, in this case, I've only changed a couple of the images. Let me change some more. And I'm just using random images. Oops, you can't change if you're in full screen mode. So let me change this image right here. Swap this one out with, it might work better. Probably my head will be cut off. See, a little bit cut off, but it's fine. So we'll have an image of me. This image right here, this woman is fine. Doesn't matter. Yeah, it's fine. So we'll keep that image there. And there you have it. So now that I have something that I kind of like, I can then take this concept, duplicate it, and now I have concept 2. So if I go to picture concepts, I have concept 1, concept 2, but they're both identical, right? Not necessarily. So you could take concept 2 and just start tapping. Make this yellow, make this, no. Oh, that could be a kind of dark mode look. Let's go with the dark mode look. So I'll go with black here, black here. Let's go with red here. It's a little colorful. Actually, I'll keep this white. What was the pattern? Black, red, yellow. So then I'll make this black, red. I'll break the pattern a little bit. There we go. Because I tend to like black footers. And there you have it. Now you have 2 concepts in just a couple minutes that you can share with your clients and they can pick from. Now this time with concept 3, which I like to duplicate, and I only duplicate it because I don't want to deal with putting all the images all over again. If you just say new concept, it's going to start from scratch, and then you have to have different images, which in some cases is good. And then you could press the Russian roulette. So like if I wanted to unlock all of these, I didn't unlock the fonts or the button styles or the card styles. Just hit. See, it always goes with this purple. Like God, like purple is the jam nowadays. But that's way too not. This is not the look that I'm going for. Let's see. It just turns it back to blah. So that's why I don't know. There's a lot you can do. Now this new tab here is, before it was just these three. And I remember when the style guide came out, I was just like, this just became useful. Now it has a design tab where I'm not sure how it works. And I haven't experimented with most of it, but it'll just incorporate a lot of the design choices that you made. I think it would probably be better with a different concept because this one is just simple. But if I go to the design tab now, it'll take a lot more of the feedback that I gave it and incorporate it into all of the screens so that you could just continue to work. But whoa, yeah, this looks bad. Let's zoom in and go there. And oh, this is interesting. You change the scheme so to make it okay. That works. Ah, so I'm learning something new. Yeah, it's making choices that I wouldn't make. But it's choosing them from my mockups and my style and my design. So this is just not bad. Like, yeah, I wouldn't do this as white. Give it some color. Let's go with black. And yeah, this one. Let's go with this one. Yeah, that's better. And these can be really strong images. Yeah, like that. And you see how much progress we've made in, whoosh, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes. I don't know how long we've been talking. So this is just a brief overview of using AI to speed up your workflow. Again, the creative process is still there. You're still a designer. But instead of creating everything from scratch, it's just a person designed each one of these many library cards, and so you can swap them out instead of having to build this all from scratch from all these custom built components. And what the AI is doing, it's writing the initial copy, which Lord knows you try to get your client to write all of this stuff. You're waiting a month, but if you show them, hey, I wrote this copy for you, what's wrong? Just change the parts that you don't like. It's a much faster process, and it gets you paid faster. So that's what I love about Relume. Now, I guess I'm going to pause here, and then the next step for me, because you can export to Figma, to Webflow, which I've done in the past. This is a website that I built starting with Relume, and it's a popular restaurant, Mexican restaurant in Hawaii. And this was the web flow. So you have these animations and use lots of bright, vibrant colors. And I did a lot more work. Did the initial designs in Relume, but then a lot more work inside of Webflow. So if you need a Webflow website, this is what Relume is all about. It's about speeding up the process of iterating and designing for, and then creating a component library for Webflow. That's how it started. That's why it's all about Webflow library. But then they expanded to having a React library. And all the components I don't think are there yet, but it's still a really good component library. So what I want to do is then take these components and then put them into Lovable as prompts so that I don't get a design that looks like where was it? Did I get rid of it? It was just not. You saw it earlier. It was not Happy Joy Land. And so I get a design. Oh, here it is. Like instead of this and this kind of boring stuff. Well, as you get a lot of these projects that I'm doing, they look okay, but they're not like super stunning and super elevated. I'm just be happy if they look like this. Like if I could get this design into Lovable. So let's give that a whirl. So first things first, I'm going to just type a quick prompt saying that I'm going to create a portfolio website, but to reference and use um, Relume library. So I'm going to give them the URL to the how would I do that? Yeah, I'll just give it the URL to use Relume library, and it should be able to, from the documentation, load these React components. So let's see what happens. And I'm sure it's going to be like kind of like a generic website because I didn't really give it any inspiration. I didn't give it any prompts. What I ideally want to do and see if this works is export to HTML and then put the HTML inside of Lovable. So let's see how that would work. Can I export just this one homepage? Because I don't want to export everything. Let's see if I can do that. I actually have never exported to HTML on this app. Okay, so what is it? Whoa, damn, that was fast. Okay, ensure you have whatever, and look at the docs. Okay, boom. So it's giving me a zip file. I will put this. Let's see, I'll put this right there. All right, next I'm going to unzip this file. Let's see what I have inside. If I unzip it, extract all. All right, so it looks like it's giving me like just HTML, CSS. So I'm guessing if I open this, yeah, it's just straight up HTML, CSS. But I have to, in order for all the styles to come in, I have to use Tailwind. So let's see if I could just get the home page HTML, CSS, which you could see if you just inspect the code. Like this is the code, right? So I could open this in VS Code, which I wonder if I have that in here. VS Code. No, I do not. Jesus, I don't have it in this laptop. That's weird. I'll just copy and paste it using a text editor because HTML is just text. But yeah, man, wow. I haven't used just a text editor in many moons. Open with, yeah, open. Boom. So here it is, just HTML, CSS text. Just nothing but text. Oh, but look, this is opening with subject. Oh, that's interesting. So let's see if I could just copy all this and then see if this is the homepage text content. I wonder if it's going to break because this may be referencing things inside those folders, but we'll see. See what Lovable is giving us. Wow, so Lovable is still thinking. It's creating the hero section. It's doing all this kind of work, and we'll see what it looks like. Perfect. We created a stunning portfolio website with the hero section. It always says that. And then let's see how stunning it is. It's beautiful. Blank page. No, it's progressing. Give it a sec. Yikes. Well, I didn't emphasize color. Man, purple's popular. But look at this. No contrast. It's just boring as hell. It's nice though. So then you'd have to tell it to do a bunch of stuff. Let's see what happens if I just use, I don't know, this home page. Whatever, guess what? HTML. Let's see what it says. is thinking about it. I need the CSS. Doesn't look like it gives you the styles. Ah, see, look, it knows that it's Relume and it's structured as React components. So that's nice. But I doubt it's going to pick up the styles. Maybe it's really not that hard because one nice thing about Relume is that the style guide is a really simple guide. I can just copy and paste these hex codes, say to use these Google fonts, and just see what. But we'll see what we get. Maybe some of that information is already inside of the code that I just sent. This is oof, no bueno pretty. At least the hero section is just horrible. A lot of broken links. I don't know. They make it seem like yeah, you could build these stunning websites using. Well, I think the broken links are happening because it's rewriting the code right now, but it's using Tailwind components. I mean, God, you know how long it would take me to type all this code? This is what I used to do from scratch by hand. It would take me like weeks to write all these line of codes, and that's just the homepage. Then you had to duplicate it, and then, thank God for a WordPress. So errors are common, and usually all you have to do is just say it'll fix its own errors. It's trying to, I think, now. Okay. Huh. This is not what I expected. See, it's just trying to do its own thing. But it definitely. Yikes. Yeah, I don't know. Is this better? Is this worse? It's interesting. The text is just huge. It's using the text that I wrote, but I guess it's not getting the styles right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to experiment with this and see where it goes because this is not the direction I wanted to go. Maybe if I try one section at a time using the actual component. So right now I hate the nav one. So let's go one step at a time. And let's go to elements, layout, elements. We want. Am I missing something? Can I not see nav? Mega menu. I don't want a mega menu, but this is. I don't see anything else. This is. Let's see if there's a small menu in here. This one's cool. Maybe I just type nav. So now you get all the navs. Okay. I wanted 3, right? Isn't it 3? Maybe if I go to nav 3. There it is. Let's take a look at it. Oh, I see. So is it also available in React? Nav 3? Yes. So let's see if I copy this code and just say and I just do every section one at a time. Looks like make a use this code for nav. Boom. Let's see what it does. And then let's go to the next section. The next section was the hero, and we had a hero of. This is a nice thing. It's like it makes it really easy, even to find what component is which, because you just hover over it or tap it, and its header is hero 6. So now if I go here, and I go to, was it hero or header? It's hero, right? No, header 6. So I don't have to guess or find. This is the component I want. I can just copy the component, but I'm going to make sure there's a React element to it. Not all of them for a while were able to be used with React. I wonder if the HTML would be better than React. I'm going to try both, depending on what this thing spits out. Error. Try to fix. Try to fix that. See how long this video is going. Wow, 40 minutes. You're listening to me, oh my god. But you see how it works. And it's thinking, debugging. Jesus. They found the issue. Smarter man than I am, buddy. I'm not going through all the lines of code you wrote about. Let's see. Feeling stuck. Use chat. Nah, I'm not stuck. And if you have any questions, follow, subscribe, do the things. But also just comment below. I would answer in the best way I can. I'm kind of technical, but I'm not a back-end programmer, and that's what I love about Lovable is that once I master this, I'm hoping I will be able to be more of a dev, more of a full stack, because I understand the code. I don't want to write it. Type slow. Look, just one sentence out of the end. Resolving these bugs. I don't know, maybe I should have started with the code. So once you get into this place where you've gone through 3 errors, the best thing to do is to scroll up, and this is one of the best features of Lovable, and just revert. I'm gonna try to revert to the ish, but I don't know. Look, it used that component and did it. So again, I hate this purple theme, but I think I can fix that. Let's try. I wonder if it. I'm gonna try to have it use the HTML for the hero section. Did I paste this in? I'm not sure. I'm gonna say use this code for the hero. I mean, part of me just wants to revert back to the beginning when this never really looked good. But just start all over and then just say use this for the nav, use this for the arrow, use this, and see if I could get better luck that way. Because I want it ideally to look like this design. So this is the goal, right? To make it look like this design. Right now it's not even close. Testing basic render. What is this? This is interesting. And while I'm waiting on this, I'm going to show you how I do this the harder way. Well, there's a couple ways to go about this. Obviously, if you really just want to go from Relume to Webflow, I mean, you can create stunning websites doing that. This took me like, I don't know, I think a month worth of work. It was a lot of work. It was not just, they make it seem like, oh, you just spin up a prompt and you have a beautiful website like this. No, this is a lot of work. And I'll show you a trick. Yeah, so that hero is just another hero component. So if you click on here and then deep in these heroes, there it is. This was it. So this was the component. But when you go to the style guide, it's not going to animate, right? Oh shucks, I'm changing concept one. Dang, I don't want to do that. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So if you go through this and it will, let's see, oh, just as placeholders. I think they're on stock photo, on splash photos, stock photos. So it wants like, I don't know, 12 images, because it's in theory going to be doing the animation. So parts of it that you can't see are going to be animating like El Ranchero was. So you need several images. See that? So there's 12 images in here so that they all kind of animate. And when you're just looking at the design, the animation isn't happening. I wonder if this design tab would show you the animation. Even when you preview it, you don't see the animation. It's just kind of preview it almost like a Photoshop file. All right? So let's see what's going on with Lovable. Oh, here we go. Still rendering this test. Did it say it did anything? This is the problem. That's why I was debating whether or not to restart from scratch because it looks like it just went crazy. Yeah, look, the whole thing just went crazy. So what you can do is go back to the point where you liked it. But it's like a restore back to a certain point. So if you start feeling like you're going down a rabbit hole, just go back to the point where you did like some parts of it. These images are broken. This looks horrible, but it's back to a certain point. So I'm gonna say this was a big. This is even worse than the original. Yeah, how do you delete these? This one I'm just gonna completely delete. Maybe go to settings or something. Just delete this. Delete project completely. Just put complete garbage. And then homepage. So now that project is gone. And maybe like this one was hideous too, but this one was a good starting point. So okay design, it's modern, it looks good. Um, but I think my site looks better. So yeah, I mean it's just wielding Lovable to get it to create a beautiful design. I mean, you can take a screenshot of the website and say, "Hey, I want it to look more like this website." So that's what could do. So like I could say, "Okay, this is a tool, full page." Um, it just saves you time to just grab a screenshot of the whole website, and then this tool is just repeating. So I'm just gonna download this PNG. I'm just gonna download it to the desktop. And then I'm going to, actually I could just copy this. Go to, I'm gonna go to Lovable and then say, hey, actually no, I'll start from scratch. Create a modern dark mode website that looks like this image for a personal brand. Edwin Rogers at edwinrogers.com. Let's see, paste that image, and let's see if the fifth time is the charm. If it is the charm, by the way, I'm going to delete everything and start from this point. Perhaps. I don't want to waste all your time. So, this is the beginning of the tutorial. All I'm doing is pasting an image of my current portfolio website. I kind of want to redesign it. So I took a screen grab of it using screen capture tool. Takes an image of the website in a second. You just press this button. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Now I paste it into Lovable. And let's see what we got. So, and now it's thinking is working. Is seeing if it could create a dark mode design. And when you give it an image, supposedly it's supposed to get the first pass a lot better. So let's see what we get. And while I'm doing that, This is the direction we kind of want to go. Probably not so dark. Get rid of this, get rid of this. And then let me change the hero section back. That was just an example. And you can make it. Yeah, I didn't give him an image. It is dark mode. Let's see what we got. Cool. Again, there's a lot of dead space here. Yeah, I don't know. This is just, it's going to take a lot of work. It's not really impressive, but it's way better than the other first tries. And so, again, getting Lovable to be a design, really, really high-end design is going to require, changing the fonts and changing the background and animating and looking at references, and it takes a little work. I'm going to pause this video here, and hopefully you got some value from it and you learned a couple things. You can follow me at edwinrogers.com or at edwinrogers.com on most of the socials. Spread love. Peace.